Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. Oh, what is up? This is episode 45. We are live here in Los Angeles, California. This is Loveology Podcast. Jason Harris with my lovely wife, Ashley. What's up, baby girl?
Hey, boo thing.
Hey. Hey, what's up, everybody out there in podcast land, man? Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to all the different countries checking in. Shout out to the States. Give a shout out to the Australian charts, man.
Hey, Australia.
What's up, Australia? Hey, good day, Mike. Did I say it right? Good day, Mike. That sounds like I said it right. What's up, Australia, man? We on the charts out there in Australia, man. We'll give a shout out to you guys. Also, I got to give a shout out to our Patreons, because our Patreons are climbing, and we really appreciate you guys.
We definitely do.
Yes. So if you're not a Patreon, that's fine. You can just share the love, share the podcast with everybody. Just share it on your timeline if you don't mind. But if you do want to become a Patreon, just go to loveologypodcast.com and find that Patreon button, pick a tier, and join us.
That's right. Your contributions are helping us to continue this podcast.
Yep. Appreciate you.
We really appreciate it. And I'm sure all of our listeners appreciate it.
Yep. So, baby girl, we finna dive into another topic, another episode, another week. What you got for us this week, love?
We are talking about choosing the right partner.
Choosing.
This is special for the singles.
Single
Showing
special.
y'all some love.
Shout out to the singles.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done one just for the singles.
Yeah, we had some good single ones. Single Ready to Mingle. That was a single one. And Living Single was another episode with your sister. So yeah, definitely has some we had a couple of single specials, but here's a new one right for you guys. So choosing the right partner, how we gonna do this? How did I choose you or you chose me?
We chose each other,
There
of
it
course.
is. Okay.
But a lot of times women forget that we're choosing our man.
Mm.
Society has taught us that we should be chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, ladies,
Mm.
we choosing too.
You choosing too?
Okay.
What you like about me? Why you chose me?
I'll tell you in a second.
Are we getting into it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But don't forget that. I just gotta preach for a second, okay?
Okay, go on.
I gotta preach.
We got you some water
Because
and a towel.
this is a problem. Okay? Like
That's the problem with the ladies.
yes.
Not
we
knowing
forget.
that they can choose it.
Yes. We can choose. We do choose the man. Like, you don't have to get married to someone just because they ask.
Mm.
Seriously.
So with the
I
Rock.
could have been married like 4 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't choose them.
Right.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So if we wasn't married and the Rock chose you, would you choose him?
No.
I hear you.
I couldn't imagine marrying anybody but you, Jason.
Man, that sounds good. I guess. I take it though.
Yes. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I just had to let that out.
Yeah.
Because far too many times it's like, we feel so honored that someone would ask us. No. We need to make sure that he is right for me.
Right.
For you. You need to make sure he's right for you.
Right.
Because anybody can ask you. You know? That don't mean that you're supposed to marry him.
Right.
Right? All right. I'm done. Okay. So, yes. This, guys, I love books.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why I love books, Jason?
Yes, you do.
Do you know why?
Dude, well, you love to learn.
Yes, but do you understand that I can read a book in a few days and gain 20 years of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's how amazing books are.
Let me tell you something.
What?
I can watch a YouTube video in two minutes.
Yeah, same concept.
Yeah.
I was watching this girl. She had been doing organizing videos for 5 years before I discovered her.
Mm-hmm.
I binge watched, I'm like, man, And you can see over the years she's learning,
Right.
as she goes. But I can learn what she learned in 5 years in 5 days.
Right. And I believe YouTube and these videos this day and age is a hidden gem. We're so busy binge watching Netflix and Hulu and all these other. We need to be binge watching some learning some stuff on
Absolutely.
YouTube. That's what you need to be binge watching.
Right.
Binge watching.
Right.
I think it was President Barack Obama said that if you're not using 5 hours of your day towards learning, you're
wasting your life.
You're wasting your time. So
5 hours.
5 hours.
A lot of time to learn.
Just sound like some people might not. I don't know, man. With kids and marriage.
I don't know. I the things that I choose are things that are like things that I choose to watch.
Right.
Are things that are going to teach me something, and then sometimes I watch stuff for pure entertainment, but sometimes those things teach me something. Right?
Yeah, I love watching documentaries and stuff. So I try to get as much time in as possible, but 5 hours is difficult for me, for us.
Yeah.
But I believe anybody can just start off with just learning something new every day.
Yeah.
Just keep it basic, and you'll grow into it.
Right. So I'm excited about this because I read another book. Well, I didn't read the whole book.
Okay.
I read the first chapter of a book, and it was called 30 Lessons for Loving by Karl Pillemer, Ph.D.
He's a Ph.D. A player hated degree.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yes, and his book, he basically did an in-depth study with some of America's oldest couples.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was over 65, I believe. Yes, 65 or older. And the average.
How long was their relationship?
Yes, the average length. I was just about to say that. The average length of their relationships were 43 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it sound good. I would like to. How many couples was it?
700.
700. Okay.
700 couples.
Yeah.
So
shut me up.
Thank you. So basically, he did a book called 30 Lessons of Living, and in that book, he had one chapter about love and marriage, and then his readers were coming back to him saying, "Man, I just wish you wrote a whole book just about this topic." But he basically interviewed all these older couples and got advice from them.
Yeah.
So writing that first book and having his readers come back and keep telling him that, we want to hear more about what the elders said about love and relationships.
Right.
It prompted him to write this book.
Okay.
So the first book, I believe he interviewed like 1,200 people.
Yeah.
And so in this book, he interviewed 700 people.
Nice.
So I just
love a lot of people.
Yes. And I also love old people.
Yeah.
So I was
packed with knowledge.
Yes. And so just the same concept of like reading a book, all you got to do is go talk to some elders too. And you can just learn so much from them.
Right.
And, I just think that's something that we've kind of gotten away from. And so I really, really like this idea of a book because, it's just nothing like lived experience. Right. And so this is the point that he harped on in his introduction of the book. It's like, sometimes people can give you advice, but it kind of feels like they're just giving you advice and they haven't lived it.
Right.
And so to talk to so many different couples who have lived marriage, divorce, because I thought that was interesting. He also talked to people who failed at their marriages. And there is so much to learn from people who fail.
For
right.
Sure.
It's probably like the best person to take advice from.
Right.
Because they can tell you exactly what not to do.
Right.
Right. So he also talked to people who, failed their first marriage and got remarried and it was better. But, they did a lot of reflection and really took the time to figure out what happened with their first marriage. And then they moved on. They were able to move on to a better relationship as a result of that.
Nice.
So yes, we're going to talk about the first chapter of this book, and it is for the singles, and it's all about choosing the right partner.
Choosing the right partner.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. the elders, and in the book he calls them experts, the experts. So that's what I would call them. He says that basically he started out by asking young people, men and women, what they wanted to know from the longest married Americans. Basically, he told them what he was about to do.
Okay.
Let me know what you want to know from these longest married Americans about getting and staying married.
A lot of people ask, well, what's the secret? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, what's the secret?
Well, that wasn't the question that most came up.
Okay. Well, what's the hardest thing about it?
They wanted to know, how do I know for certain that a person is the right one for me?
Let me answer it.
How?
You don't know.
That is correct. That is correct. That's what they said. So he said this was among one of the first questions that they always ask. Right. Is how do I know? Right. So yes, the answer that they answered basically is you never know.
Right.
You never know.
So just want to expound on that real quick and intervene anytime. It's like you get a good feeling about the person, right? It's some things that that kind of that checks off the box of things that you want, right? And there's some things that you really never expected or never thought of that other person may possess, and it may catch you like, wow, oh man, she's awesome. It's almost like we just got through watching a fight, Deontay Wilder, he lost, but
Jason made me watch this fight. It was pretty. I can't. Yeah, it was very brutal to watch. The ear thing.
Exactly, his equilibrium got knocked off. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you knock out that eardrum, so it's similar. When you see a girl that you really like, check off some really big check marks off, right? And then they hit you with some extracurricular type attributes that you wasn't even looking for, and it's like, wow, that's dope. And now you're kind of dazed in love. You see what I'm saying? And it may or may not be the one for you, but in your mind, you're like, shoot, I can settle for this one. But is it the one? You never know.
You never know.
Never know.
Okay, so Jason, you're smart. I guess you've lived a little bit, huh? Yeah, we've been married for a few years.
Try to tell you.
I knew that too, though. So whatever. So he said that close to 100% of them said the exact same thing. You can never be absolutely sure. But with that being said, they do believe that you should be very careful about who you pick.
Right.
You shouldn't take this, you never know, and just like, I'm just going to pick somebody.
No, can't do that.
You don't want to do that. So we're going to actually go back to what you were saying about this feeling, because they did talk about that, that you should have. But basically, one person kind of compared marriage to gambling. She was a gambler.
Yeah.
And it's like you never really know if you're going to win or lose, right?
For sure.
But you can increase your odds of winning.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it too. So, basically, how you choose your person increases your odds, right? Because there's just so many factors that can go on in a lifetime of marriage. Right. But how you choose your marriage, how you choose your partner increases your odds.
Talk to me.
So take a chance, right? But make an educated guess.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Like, we don't want to just be out here, like I said, just shooting from the hip. Like,
well, for me and, for you, it was, I think my decision was easy. It was easier than most. And mainly because, again, we're from a small town in Arkansas. So it's like, I know all about you. I know about your past. I know about your families. I know about, the possible flaws. You know what I'm saying? I have an advantage over just meeting some stranger and learning them. And this is years of studying you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not saying that I'm studying you in particular.
He was a stalker, yeah.
But no, it's just a small town. You knew about me.
Right, of course.
I knew about you. In our town, shoot, if you get pregnant, shoot, everybody else gonna know before you do.
Oh, Lord.
It's just what it is. Everybody know everybody's business. That's just how it is. So it was easier for me. And I kind of just knew that the only person who's gonna mess this up is me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm not gonna mess it up. So we're good.
Okay.
So I was, if it wasn't 100%, it was 99.9 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I don't know how I felt.
you know, you was rolling dice. You like, I don't know. This dude, you know, he was a playboy. You know, he was fine. You know,
Well, I had a conversation with an elder one
Mhm.
time when I was thinking about, I think I've broken up with my second boyfriend or something, and I was thinking about love, and and I asked this guy, I worked with him, older gentleman, had been married for years, and I said, how did you know that your wife was your wife? Like, how did you know? And he was like, I still don't know.
Right.
I just know that she's my wife.
Right.
And that made me think like about, I mean, he didn't really expound on that, so I could be interpreting what he said wrong.
Yeah.
But the way I took it is that for some reason he loved her enough or felt like he should get married to her.
Mm-hmm.
And now at this point, like whether or not she's the right one is like irrelevant because they're married, you know? And so he's committed to his wife.
Right.
Right. And they seem to be very happy, right?
Right.
But that made me start thinking differently about love and marriage, you know?
Right.
And I don't know. I just kind of felt like I think from in that moment, then I understood that you just choose, you know? And that you do need that feeling, right?
Right.
I do believe that you need the in love feeling, and I had that with you. But you just have to like choose, and you just have to commit.
Right.
And that's it.
That's
like,
it.
Because
choose and commit.
Especially now, like people, we just have like an unlimited amount of options.
Yeah.
Literally in the palm of your hand.
Internet.
Right?
Yeah.
Like dating sites. Like, it's just ridiculous. How can you choose? How can you choose anything? It's just too many options. And this is not the way that it used to be in the past.
Well, I think, nowadays it's kind of, I don't know if it's easier or harder, but you do have more access to more people. And these dating sites, you can go through the pictures faster. You can, hey, I like this girl, looks beautiful. This girl is not my type. You can quickly go through them, opposed to when and then all of them are available. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to, before the internet and before dating sites, you had to see them out. And where, it depends on where you from, you may not see a lot of women that's your type. Right. So, and then the ones that you do see might be taken. Right. So I don't know. I think it might be a little bit easier now. I don't know though. I don't know. I'm not in the dating scene. I'm not sure.
I feel like people have too many options. Yeah. I really do. So, it's like, oh my God. Yeah. It's just, maybe men have too many options. I don't think you guys should have all these options because I feel like it makes it harder for you to commit. Maybe not for women. Okay. And maybe I shouldn't say that. It's for both, but I think it is worse for y'all because half of y'all don't want to commit anyways. Right. Right. And so it's like you throw thousands of girls on top of that. It's like I don't have to commit to anybody. I got so many women coming after me.
But some people are looking for love. They are looking for marriage. They are looking for a relationship.
Yeah, but when it's so easy access to get your needs met, right? It's just all the time.
It's really their wants, but their need is a relationship. Their need is love. So their wants is possibly sex. So
I guess. All right. Well, anyway, so basically the elders had 6 lessons for finding a mate. Okay. Right. So we've already established that like this is how they feel. That you never know, but you need to make a calculated guess. For sure. Okay. So now they're going to teach us how to make that calculated guess. Ooh. Right.
A little math.
Yes. And so, like I said, they gave us 6 lessons in that. We're gonna split this into 2 episodes.
2. Let's go.
So yes, we will have a part 2, but this episode, we're going to talk about the first 3 lessons that they talked about. And then the next week, we'll talk about the next 3 lessons. Okay. Cool. So lesson number 1, what Jason alluded to, follow your heart.
Follow your heart. Yeah, I like that.
The feeling.
Yeah.
The in love feeling. right?
Yeah.
So for those of you who feel like finding the right person has to be more practical than that, like, just hang on for 1 second. You know what I mean? Like, no, I can't just follow my
It's
heart.
just step one, guys.
Exactly. I just want you to hold on, right? We will get to that.
Like, that ain't, you just can't follow your heart. That's how you get hurt. Calm down. Step one.
Right. So we got 5 more to go. Okay.
Yeah.
So, they said that they do feel that the love is the core of selecting your mate. They described it as like a sense of rightness, just like this deep feeling in your guts, that you are making the right decisions.
And these are the elders, right? The 800, 1200,
700.
Yeah, all them elders. Okay.
This is what the majority of them are saying.
So again, y'all, this ain't from us. This is from
people.
All these people, the oldest relationships and all that. That's from them.
Yeah.
Right. So we bringing all this information to you guys.
Right. Exactly what the author of this book did.
This is a shot of information.
Yep. Exactly. Years of information, just transferred into the book, and we're transferring it to you. So what does that, like, following your heart mean? They said they saying it means, that's that feeling of rightness, right? And do you want to tell your story about your feeling of rightness? About, like, you said I put my hand on your hand and you felt like.
Yeah. So basically, we was me and Ashley. We wasn't dating. We was just talking, right? And this was after the ATL. It was after the New Year's, and we was heading back home. So if y'all listen to the introductory episode, you'll know what we talking about, New Year's and ATL. So we was heading back home, and she rode home with us because we hometown, so we know each other. And I put my hand. We was sitting in the back seat together, and I put my hand on her leg, just resting there, and then she put her hand on top of my hand, and it was like a magical scene. What's that Boys and Men song? I thank you in advance, Lord, help me sing it. And so when he was basically talking about in the song that he felt this woman's hand, he said, "Tell me your name because I already know the last one."
I like that song. Tell me your name,
cause I know the last one. It's funny.
I like that lyric right there.
He said, "Wait a minute, I know this hand. It's the same hand that I hold in front of the minister. Same hand." And the same hand he holds his baby and his sister or something like that. So that's kind of how I felt. The magical, it just shot me in the future real quick and it shot me back in like a split second. I just like, wow, it felt like home. That touch felt like home. So yeah, it just felt right. You know what I mean? Yeah, it felt right. Felt good.
Yeah. I don't have a remembrance of a feeling of rightness.
She probably had it when we was young, when she first saw me, and was like, "Damn, that boy there look, he looked pretty sexy."
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah.
And she probably forgot about it. So that's why.
But something that experts say is that you are supposed to pay attention to a feeling of wrongness.
Oh yeah.
Right. So now I did not have that.
Yeah, you ain't never gonna have that.
Right. Well, that's not. No, I've dated guys.
Not about with me.
Right. Okay. Yes, with you. So I've dated guys where I just like knew this was wrong.
Yeah.
This just don't feel right. Right. So I didn't have that feeling with you. So I didn't have like this moment like you, but I knew that it didn't feel wrong. So I was okay with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was in love too. But I guess like the not having the absence of this feeling of something is wrong allowed me to, fall in love.
Venture off into love.
Yeah, because if I felt something was wrong, which I did with other guys that I never fell in love with, right? Like, no, something's up. Something's wrong. Don't feel right. Right. So they said that is even more important to listen to. And sometimes, you have to really search yourself. You have to search your feelings carefully. And honestly, I just got to throw this in here.
Throw it in there.
I think it's, sex can kind of cloud this. You know what I mean? you know?
Yeah.
So I just think that it's I think that people should try as long as possible to abstain from sex. And you know, I know people don't want to hear that, but I just really think that like you know, it just clouds your internal feelings. And if you abstain, then I feel like you can see and feel and hear yourself, your internal thoughts about this person more clearly. You can see them more clearly. Because when you start having sex, the sex is good. It's like, oh, I think I'm in love or something.
But Ashley, what if you get with the man and his sex is terrible?
What do you mean?
Like, what if you get with him? This is the voice of everybody else. What if you get with him and you don't have sex, right? And you get with him and he sucks in bed?
Well, you know, back in the day when people used to wait until they get married.
Well, this ain't back in the day.
I just think that maybe you can teach him. Some women say, I don't want to draw you a map. But I read a long time ago. I was really young. And I was reading a Cosmo magazine. I don't really read those magazines anymore. But I read it one time or a few times or something. But I did learn something though. Something stuck with me, and it said a sexually happy woman is a woman that's not like afraid to tell her partner what she wants.
Exactly.
So it's like, why do we want like the guy to like know everything?
Cause that's how y'all be. That's how y'all do us. Y'all want us to just know everything. Read your mind.
Right. Like everyone's different. Even if he has had sex with somebody else, like you're different.
Correct.
So he has to kind of learn you.
Gotta learn you.
Right. So I'm just like, I mean, if he sucks, he probably can get better.
Correct. And I think that's the perfect answer. And basically, yeah, sexual chemistry will and can evolve. You know, so you know, it's just all about communication, right? And it's all about repetition. And guess what? Eventually y'all gonna be on point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about the sex too much. We put too much, oh man, you know, you put too much emphasis on the sex. You could get the sex there, you know, but you want to get the foundation of, you know, can you trust this man? Right. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all communicating with each other? Right. You know what I'm saying? How is his morals? What are his values like? Those are things that are a little bit hard to, you know, to evolve over time.
That's exactly right.
It can. It can evolve, but those a little bit, you know, their moral compass, you know, it's kind of hard to turn that sucker. Sometimes it takes Jesus to turn it, you know?
Right. Sometimes it never turns.
Yeah.
You know?
But that sex, you can, you know, we can work on the sex.
Why can't we coach? Like, why can't we coach each other about what we like?
You need to coach.
It's all good. Like, I just don't, you know, like, I think he can get there. Yeah. You know? Exactly. So anyways, so all that being said, and I also want to say that, like, I really do think that this is one of those reasons why, like, spending time with yourself and paying attention to that gut feeling, like your internal feelings, you know, paying attention to when you don't feel right, right? This is important. This is why we need to spend time with ourselves, right, and learn how to hear. I call it the Holy Spirit, right? But other people may call it something else, small voice, whatever you want to call it. That thing, the universe inside of you, that will tell you when something is awry. Okay, so it's important, you know, and you need to listen to it. And when you're dating people, you just need to like calm down. Right. You may be excited, but you need to calm down and try to see things for what they are. Right. So yeah. Anything else? No. Okay. But it's your intuition. You need to trust and develop your intuition. Yeah. Really develop your sense of, or your ability to be able to listen to your intuition. Right. Okay. So that's basically lesson number 1. Now lesson number 2 is follow your head. Oh boy,
when you put them things together, boy, heart in your head.
Yes.
Oh man, that's all you need. There ain't no more. What you talking about? 1 and 2, 3. Ain't no 6 steps. It's 1 and 2. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Follow your heart and follow your head. Yeah. Boom. Those like I can't wait to hear the rest, but those are very important. Okay, go for it.
So again, following only your feelings is a recipe for disaster.
Yo.
Okay. We cannot just follow our feelings. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love. No. Okay. You need to follow your head too. So the elder said that the in love feeling has to be there, but it is not enough. Mm-mm. Okay. You have to assess with your heart. You need to logically and rationally assess the potential for a satisfying and lifelong relationship. So if you're wanting a lifelong relationship,
right,
you gotta look at the facts, man. You gotta look at the facts.
You gotta get analytical.
Does this person want to have children? Do I want to have children? Mm-hmm. If I want to have children and he don't want to have children, what are we talking about?
Exactly.
I can love you all day long, but eventually I'm going to be unfulfilled with the fact that you do not want children and I have to live the rest of my life without them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I can't adopt, you just don't want children at all.
Right.
That's the problem. So they say you need to really get to know a person. You have to decide if you have the same goals for life and for marriage. And they talk about doing your due diligence, right? Oh, so this was a good quote that I liked from the book. It said, bracket romantic love in one compartment of your brain, then take a good look at whether your partner has objective characteristics that make him or her a good lifelong mate. Due diligence is a business term. You know that?
Due diligence? Mm-hmm. I ain't know that.
Well, maybe it's not, but he says in the business world, it's often used when companies are considering a potential merger. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like I said, we don't really want to think of love like this, but marriage is a partnership. Yeah. So it is a business. That's right? True. Yeah. It's like a business, and you need to figure out if we are compatible. And one of the major concerns when a company is deciding to partner with someone, what do you think it is?
It's the bottom line.
What's the bottom line?
Shit, how profitable it's going to be.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line.
Yes. So they said, do the styles and the principles of the two companies fit? You examine whether or not it's stable. That other company is stable, and is it poised for future growth?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Whether it's stable or not, they could be, they could be directing it wrong. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you're gonna examine the product, you're gonna examine the market, and you're gonna see if it can make money in that market.
Right.
Shoot. That's the bottom line, because I said so. Okay,
so yes, you just need to do the due diligence process, and they suggest you look for the answer to 3 major questions. Of course, there's more questions, but these are the 3 major ones. You definitely need to ask these questions to determine if you want to act on your feeling like, oh, I might really like this person. Mm-hmm. So, will your partner be a good provider? Mm-hmm. And I think he just means like in the sense of, are they able to make a living?
Okay, because I'm about to say, so the men supposed to ask women, are you gonna be a good provider?
Yeah, are they economically viable? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I would kind of really want to see how he felt about this, because he was talking a lot about career, but clearly there's lots of people who are stay-at-home parents. Right. So, I mean, which
boosts the other person's career.
Exactly. So if you're looking at it like that, if I wasn't able to be an effective stay-at-home wife, you still wouldn't be able to do what you do, right? Because you'll still be trying to take care of things here. Right. So yeah, I am able to provide help with the economics, in that I'm saving us money and childcare and
the peace of mind. I don't have to worry about my son and my daughter. Okay, they're gonna get beat up in daycare. There's a lot of crazy stuff you see on the internet. These kids going to daycare and they come out messed up.
Oh no.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So finding a provider is very important. So who's the best provider in the world? Their mother.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the point. Like, you're supposed to be looking at this sort of stuff.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Because if she's not, not all mothers are the best mothers in the world.
Unfit. No, you're right about that. So yeah, I knew Ashley was gonna be a great mother.
Oh, thank you, honey. So the experts say that you also need to look to see if they're a hard worker, someone who has a strong work ethic.
For sure.
I totally got rid of a guy because I didn't feel like he had a strong work ethic.
Yeah, man. It's that for me, I guess because we're hard workers.
Yes.
So it's like, dude,
no way.
Get you up out of here.
Yeah, because I work really hard. So it's like, ew,
Right.
I can't stand it. I cannot stand to see somebody who a man and I'm dating you. You got to be working at my pace or higher.
Right.
One of the two.
Right.
Not lower.
Man, I actually got rid of a chick because she got fired because she was tardy too many times to work.
It's a sign.
Like how you get fired because you tardy? Oh no. I'm on some news, talking to the deuces up to her.
Well, maybe she was like a creative or something. No, she was just, because I'm like, sometimes creative people can find it very hard to go, or somebody who's supposed to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
it very difficult.
That's me. So I already know, but I already, no.
She just wasn't going to work on time. Wasn't none of that.
Yeah.
Just that would be a problem for me. Yeah. I would be like, you got fired for what reason? Nah, I've not attracted to you anymore.
Yeah. Cause you tardy? Oh no.
I'm totally not attracted to you. So yeah, definitely did this. I mean, you want to find somebody that's a hard worker. And if you're young and the person is not like, clearly they're young, so they haven't had enough time to like get to where they wanted to get. I feel like, as long as you can see that they're a hard worker, they're going to be good. They're going to find a way. Jason, we got married a little bit younger. So when we started dating, he wasn't exactly where he wanted to be, but I know he's a hard worker.
Right.
That's what I saw.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, he's creative. He's smart. He's going to do something.
Oh, yeah.
He got it. You know?
You can put me anywhere on this globe. I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
Anywhere on this globe.
Right.
Yeah.
So question number 2, is he or she financially responsible? This is so important.
It is important. But you know what? These are one of those things we're starting to get to the point where it's like, it just depends on the other partner, right? Because you can be financially irresponsible, but your partner can be financially responsible and they can hold the finances.
Well, the partner that is the one that's responsible, they're taking a gamble.
They are taking a gamble. Yeah. You're taking a gamble.
Because you don't know. And I guess it just depends on how irresponsible they are.
Right.
Because if you out here just charging credit cards and,
But if, like I said, if you can hold the finances, say, here, no, we had to give you an allowance, here's your money for this week, spend it however you want to spend it. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. This is the one thing so far where I'm hearing that it can, you can kind of gamble with that one. Yeah.
I couldn't gamble with Jason.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, Jason is the spender in our relationship, but he don't spend that much money.
Sure don't.
I can't. I don't spend. I do not like to spend money. So I could not be with just someone who is just spending money ridiculously.
If I do spend money, most of the time is to turn a dollar out of 15 cents. It's like a business thing. I'm trying to flip it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Legally, of course. So yeah.
Yes, this was a big one for me. So it just depends on what you prioritize, I guess. But for me, first sign you got too much debt. That
was one of the questions I posed this week. Would you continue to pursue someone that's 6 figures in debt? So would you?
I don't know, Jason. Like, that's a rough one.
Well,
I have such a fear, or just such a I just don't like debt.
Yeah.
it'll be really tough.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
are they a doctor?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta ask those questions.
Yeah.
Depends on how much they're making.
Yeah, it depends on how
stuff,
quickly you can pay this back, and if you want to pay it back. Like I guess I would be willing to sacrifice. Like I see these couples on the internet. They pay off like I don't know $200,000 in 1 year or something.
Yeah, crazy.
So I would be down for that.
Right.
But that is what we would have to be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would have to be like, okay, we are locking down and we're getting out of this debt.
Mm-hmm.
That would have to be the first priority, and he would have to be game for that. If he ain't talking about that, no. If you just want to have this debt forever, no.
No.
I'm not sure. I hate it. Yeah. So yes. I feel passionate about that, huh?
Yeah, you're passionate.
Question number 3. Will he or she be a good parent?
Okay.
So this was a huge one for me.
Yeah.
I was always, I feel pretty smart myself because I was looking for all this stuff right here.
Yeah.
Like, didn't nobody else tell me this. This is the thing. I sometimes I've told women, like, sometimes you're just attracted to the wrong thing. That's how you get with the wrong person.
Yeah.
And these are the sort of things that make me attracted to a guy.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, if you don't have this stuff going on, I'm not like attracted to you.
Right.
So
you don't get too bent out of shape off of looks.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I do need physical attraction, right? I was physically attracted to you.
Right.
So, but, that's not the other qualities make you even more attractive. Right. So, I was not trying to be raising some kids by myself. Like, I was not trying. So I can say that every guy that I dated, I always knew that they would at least, at the bare minimum, be there for their children.
Right.
If we weren't together, I felt like they would not desert their children.
Right.
And if I didn't get that feeling from you, I'm not dating you.
Right.
Because why?
But these guys can fool you though.
They can. They can. And so I'm not like.
These girls can fool you too.
Yeah.
They unfit mothers. They'll dip out too.
Yes.
I mean, obviously it's less common, but
right.
So how can you filter those people out?
Well, really, I dated some few guys that already had children. Mm-hmm. Right. So, a child.
Right.
So all of them were involved in their child's life and very much. Mm-hmm. So I think that, hey, ladies, if you're dating a guy that has a child and he's not involved and it's kind of his fault and not the baby mama's fault, because sometimes baby mamas, right, they still want to be with the guy and then they use the child, unfortunately, as some terrible pawn in a game.
Right.
And but we're talking about, if they have a decent relationship and they're just choosing not to be there for their child, I don't want to date him. That's not attractive to me.
Right.
If you have a child, you are supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing as a father.
Right.
Otherwise, why would I have children with you?
Exactly.
And even if, sometimes it's a situation where the new woman, the father is, there for the new woman's children, but he's not there for his, ex-wife's or ex-girlfriend children.
Yeah.
And I still think I couldn't really live with myself. I would want him to be there for all of his children. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want him to be giving our children more, attention, more love, more whatever.
Right.
The children are the innocent party in this situation, so all of them should be getting taken care of.
Right.
Right. So, anyway, and then, like I said earlier, one of the questions that you definitely want to, know is, does your partner actually want to have children? If this is something that you want, I mean, I don't see why you would continue down a road with someone who doesn't want children.
Right.
Hoping they're going to change? I don't think so.
No.
So anyways, you should definitely, these are just the top 3 things that they say, but of course there should be way more questions that you ask, but I feel like these are very good, major questions that you need to know.
Now, mind you, this information comes from where, babe? Hit it home.
It comes from 700 elders.
700. 700 elders.
People who have been married for 43 plus years.
On average of 43 years. They got to know something, babe.
Right.
Golly. If you don't, man, if y'all can't listen to that, some of y'all hard-headed. And shoot. Man, you the one that we need to stay away from. People need to stay away from.
Right.
But if you listen to this Loveology podcast, then most likely you are looking for a way to figure this thing out. So shout out to all the listeners.
Right. So I really like this, to follow the heart, follow the head. And it made me think about just like the fact that your body needs your head and your heart to work properly. Right. And so does love.
Yes.
We need our head.
I love it.
I know. Isn't that a good,
yeah.
Because
you think about it, sorry, going military a little bit. You get shot in the heart, boom, you gone. You get shot in the head, boom, you gone. Most likely, right? So, yeah, so those are some critical key organs for you to be successful.
Yes. I love it.
Period.
Thank you, Ashley, for this knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, when you're choosing to mate, you just gotta follow your head and your heart. And then it also reminded me that, have you ever heard this phrase that a fish and a bird could fall in love, but the two cannot build a home together?
A fish and a bird can fall in love, but the two couldn't build a home together.
Could not.
No, I never heard that one.
Ain't that a good one?
A fish and a bird could fall in love. Why? But how could they fall in love though?
They can see each other. A fish and a bird can see each other.
That's true.
And they can admire each other and love each other and, sing to one another.
That's true.
But how can they build a life together?
They can't.
They cannot.
That's
so,
good.
That's a really good one to say. Unfortunately, I've heard it like when people are talking about like race.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I heard it on a couple of movies before.
Oh, wow.
And because people say you're coming from two different worlds, essentially. You're coming from two different worlds. It's never going to work.
Right.
But of course we know that's not the case with race.
Clearly that's not the case.
Right. But
which we did an episode on interracial.
Yes,
couple.
interracial love.
Yes.
So yeah. But I do think that is the case when people are just too different, and have different goals and stuff. It's like, no, well, we just can't build a home together.
Right.
So yeah, those are the first two lessons. So lesson 3.
Lesson 3
is values come first.
Values come first. I mean, I said all this stuff, huh?
Yeah, I guess we know what we're talking about. But it's like really cool to hear that, like, the
it's
old
confirmation,
people.
man.
Yeah, confirmation.
You got 700 old folks telling you this? Come on, man.
Right.
Some of y'all ain't listened to one old folk. You got 700 telling you the same? Come on, man.
Yeah.
And, we got old souls. So
I agree.
Yes.
For sure. So, yes, you and your partner must share the same core values. So Jason and I talked about this on an episode called Opposites Attract, because a lot of times people do get attracted to people who are opposite than them, but there is a such thing as being too opposite, I believe. Right. But what we realized, what makes us work, is that we share the same core values.
Correct.
So check that episode out if you want to hear more about that. But the experts / the elders said that much of what is good in long-term relationships, marriages, comes from having the similar values and world views. So the question to ask is, do we share the same values regarding the most important things in life?
Right. Like religion.
Yeah. Jason and I have arguments, but we never have like really big life arguments, right? Because we genuinely see, things in the same way.
And a lot of that is because we come from the same place, so it's just what it is. It's a little bit easier for us, So, but yeah, you definitely want to know the core the core values of somebody. What's their moral compass? If their moral compass is pointing south and yours is pointing north, they like to steal, you know what I'm saying? And you don't like to steal, that's a recipe for disaster.
Right. If you are different,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay, but your personality should be complementary.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have discovered, like, you know, the whole stealing thing. Jason and I feel the same way about this, right? So, but, you know, we are different, but we really feel like we complement each other.
Right.
Our personalities complement. And it's like, I don't know, we kind of called it like a little static electricity, like a little spark.
Yeah, a little spark.
But basically, static electricity and thunder is the same thing.
Correct.
But it's just more opposite, like more positive and negative ions or something like that.
Yeah.
So you don't want lightning, right? You just want a little spark.
Right. You don't want, so it's basically the positive and negative ions are further apart, it's more of it, and they're further apart. So you don't want them to be, you don't want to be too opposite. If you're too opposite, it'll be some destruction. Right. Like lightning. Mm-hmm. You want a little bit opposite where it can be just a little spark. Just a little spark that is just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So like I said, Jason and I, we do have a little friction because of some of our differences, but it's never this huge explosion. Right. Right. So again, the experts suggest 3 topics that you should be talking about.
What's that?
Values about children, values about money, values about religion. These are, and of course there's more, right? But these are like the 3 that are like, man, these need to align.
Can you run them off again for people that's taking notes real quick?
Values about children. Values about money.
Yes.
And values about religion.
All right, those some key stuff right there.
Yeah. So some examples are, for about children is, some of this stuff we didn't talk about, we kind of just both knew that we wanted to have children. Yeah. So he gave the example of what kinds of goals do you have for your children? Is what they achieve most important, or is it just raising a happy kid your goal? Or is just raising a happy kid? So I don't even think we've had that.
No, we ain't going to that depth. No.
Yeah, so I don't know if very many people would think to talk that in depth until they get close to having children.
Right, but by that time it's too late. Y'all locked in.
But I don't know. Like, I think that age does play a big part in this, because I'm like, if you get married really young, you're just not thinking about these things. And I think that you and I can talk about this, and maybe we can influence each other's thoughts about it, because we didn't have children, but now that we have children, we can kind of talk about, I think we feel the same. How do you feel about that? Matter of fact, I don't really know. Like, is it more important for them to achieve, or is your goal to just raise a happy kid? I can guess what you would say.
I definitely want a happy kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want a kid to be, upset at me and I'm scared. I gotta lock my door.
Yeah. So see, it's like, okay, we didn't have to have this conversation, but I knew that's probably how you felt, because we see so many things the same way. So we feel like we do want our children to do well. Right. But we don't want to be like
not the expense of your happiness.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember I used to work with a girl who went to one of these, Ivy League schools, and she told me about how stressed out the kids would be there because of the pressure that they had to achieve and to succeed, and they were on pills and stuff because of. And I'm like, no, right. That's not what I want for my child. And I didn't have to ask you that for me to know that you pretty much felt the same way. So I don't know. I kind of wonder, like, is it really necessary to go into all of this? I don't know.
Yeah. Because think about it, if we was off, we was on 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I want my kid to be happy. And so that's going to affect how you're going to treat our kid and how I'm going to treat our kid. You know what I mean? So yeah, you definitely want to know because y'all gonna have conflict in the way you parent your child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. So one of them, the values of about religion, I really want to do an episode, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do that. If anyone, it's in a what do we call it? Where two people are married of different faiths. I really want to know how you make that work, because this is something that they say one of the things that you should be aligned on. I felt very strongly about this. I had to be married to someone who was aligned with
Equally
the same,
yoked.
with the same beliefs that I had. So, yeah.
I think that's important.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is having time more important than having money?
It's a balance, man.
Such that you would be willing to have less in order to work less?
You would have less? Yeah. I think I would, for sure. I don't have to. Yeah, I think I would. I'll be fine with working less to have more time with my family.
See, we never talked about that, but I know that.
Yeah.
And you know that about me, right?
But that's because we come from the same place. When you come from a small town like that, your value is going to be very, very, very similar. You know what I'm saying? Because it won't hurt.
No.
Well, not all the time, but some of the time.
Yeah, because sometimes, basically we came from humble beginnings. So sometimes people who come from humble beginnings is like, I want a lot of money.
But a lot of money could be, $35,000 from humble beginnings. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm talking about people who want they want fancy cars and stuff because they didn't have that. They want name brand clothes because they didn't have that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So even though we came from the same place, I know people that came from our hometown, and they feel that way.
Yeah.
Right. So, we still share those same values, but I don't know. I just didn't have to ask you this specific question, this specifically.
Right.
But I just know you, and I just know that neither one of us are so gung-ho on making a lot of money that we would just not have time for our children.
Yeah, we're not messed up about no limelight and all that good stuff. You know, just giving a quick shout out to my wifey. She spent the last 3 days volunteering for the NAACP Image Awards. Shout out to my wifey. Taking her good earned time. She could have been, chilling, could have been going to the beach, could have been doing all types of things, but she chose to give up her time for free to support NAACP. So I think that's awesome. But, a lot of people will say, well, but did you go to the show? Did you go to the actual show? But wifey wasn't messed up by going to no show. She wasn't messed up about no going to no show. You was worried about, making sure your kids are fed and, want to come back and see a sexy husband. You know what I'm saying? She won't mess up. But a lot of people will be, just trying their best to get to that show and being around all those celebrities. Oh my God. We're not worried about that. What's your thought?
Yeah, I like to volunteer, and I do like what they do. I do like that they do a show, and I want to help. I do like it, right? So I want to support as much as possible. So that's what my volunteerism was about. It's about supporting their efforts to put on this show, which is very important for our Black artists who do not get recognized with other award shows sometimes, most of the time. So it's important for us to have our own show.
Right.
So yeah. So basically, to wrap everything up, when you and your partner see the world in essentially the same way, the marriage will often move in a flow.
Yes.
Uninterrupted flow.
It feels good too.
Yeah, I'm just like, so when people say that marriage is hard, it is, but it don't have to be that hard. Right? Like when, it should just be like the stuff that comes up in life.
Yeah, once you get, it's like driving is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like driving is hard initially, right? It's hard to, get all that stuff down initially. But once you get the hang of it, man, put that bad boy on cruise control and watch the years flow by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it does come down to you do need to choose your mate.
Yeah.
As best as you can.
Right.
Understanding yourself and understanding them, and just really taking the time to think about what is going to be good for me.
Exactly.
And both of us together. So yeah, that's all we'll cover
for today,
this week.
Yes.
But next episode we'll talk about the last 3 lessons, and one of the lessons also includes 5 secrets, which are also very practical things you can do to help you find a partner.
So y'all get ready to take some copious notes. Brought that back. Take some notes. Well, but hey, while we at it, just want to let everybody know, Wednesdays, you know, we're going to be live on Facebook. We're going to talk about, it's going to be a live discussion. It's 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tune in, check us out. Go to Loveology Podcast on Facebook and you'll see us there.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Right.
Anything else, baby?
That's it.
Don't forget to rate and review. I see some more ratings popping in. So just rate and review. We really appreciate it. Don't forget, I'm doing the Ask the Questions. So send your questions in. You can ask Loveology Podcast any question you like. Will we answer it? We'll see what the question is. But send your questions in at loveologypodcast@gmail.com. And you might see your question on a video that I post 3 times a week. There it is. Anything else, love?
That's it.
Nope, that's it. Holler at y'all next time. Appreciate y'all listening in. Spread the word, share it, become a Patreon, all that good stuff. And peace out.
Bye. You've been listening to the Loveology Podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.